There we go, we're live. Where is the other one?
And the ribs on
Are we though? Well, I'll tell you.
Yeah, why
Familiar.
That's what
No, I don't think so.
And I have a hat for.
Cool. So we're going to start the other part of the meeting. Really, child? You'll hear me call people child all the time. Everyone
give them money here.
Other set. To go along with the non-required $10 donation, if you feel you can give $1, we're awesome. If you can't give anything, that's fabulous. If you're like crazy and you want to donate $100, we ain't going to tell you no. That also being said, we are, because we're part of the college, we are able to give tax deductions. So if you have friends, family that need to get rid of the money at the end of the year for tax write-offs, we can help you with that. We will be sending out an email in that regard later. If you have friends or you personally have a whole bunch of books that you don't want in your taking up bookshelf space, we accept donations for our library. None of this is required. The one thing I do ask, which is really easy for those people who drink way too much milk in water bottles, soda. If you, I think there's only a couple. No, it was my Mountain Dews from the California trip. If you save the little rings around your plastic bottles and bring them in, they make fabulous condition markers to use when using minis. So this is my collection for that. This summer we worked hard for everybody. I know it probably doesn't feel that way, especially for those who are brand new. We didn't have this website. We didn't have plans hammered down for our events. We didn't have the DMs that we have now. So I at least wanted to take a minute to recognize some people because I wouldn't be able to do this on my own. Everybody, all our members are fabulous. A few of them obviously stood out a little bit more. That being said, Chris, I owe you something. I haven't figured out what it is yet. Chris was fabulous and created and 3D printed with John's help some pins.
Not really my help.
Well, you showed him the KGB pin.
Okay, I didn't realize they were KGB when I sent them.
So
Did you though?
I didn't. I swear.
our officers are being given an officer pin. It's got is it a dragon head or a horse head?
It's a dragon head.
A dragon head and a star. It says officer. It's got a sword. So, Alistair. Oh, that's me. Come on up. Which color is yours?
It's green.
Green. Yeah, everybody go down there in colors.
Yeah, I like the
Cool.
officer.
John,
Me, but you chose the right one.
who I would not be able to sleep at night without the help of John. Oh, is that purple? That is purple, Paul. I've gone colorblind. Cole. Oh my God, why did I not figure that one out? If you ever need help making a dragonborn or other lizard type character, he's got issues. No, he knows them inside and out. Alberto! Woo! Alberto made my dreams come true. I've been wanting to play Shadowrun for 20 years. And Alberto finally started a campaign for that, so sucker. Which one was yours? Okay, cool. And And then last but definitely not least, Matt. Who's definitely taking the reins for the world building, and
Done a hell of a job.
yeah, we're definitely getting there, and it's awesome. So, well then Alberto has it. I don't know.
Come on,
Kick his ass. I don't mind.
fight you.
Right
here, right now.
So, thank you to my officers. You guys have been amazing. On top of that, we've had some DMs that have gone through the training and are good to go. So I want to recognize y'all. No, I'm not going to do this to myself. I'm just going to put that over here. No, I'm going to do this oh, he's not here yet. Is Tyler?
I was told yes.
Robbie! Woo! One of our in the last group that did it. You are official DM'd. Sadly, a bunch of the things you get over Matt. This one is your game. You have no choice. These are signed by Sir Buster as well. Alberto! Alistair, I'm not going to make you walk.
I appreciate that.
Oh!
Okay, that's me.
That's good. First one to get through the trials, I believe, from the new group of TMs. And John, you have to walk back up. Apparently, John, although keeper of the coins, can't count.
Sorry.
And so I didn't get a TM pin, but I got my
Really cool president pin.
president pin. So
You have two swords.
I'm just so pinkish.
You know, I'm sorry. The bottle said red.
Yeah. So, thank you all again for all your hard work over the summer, for putting in the time for the game training. That was fabulous. This year we've got some big things planned. As you can see, the biggest thing planned is the number of sessions we're playing right now. Our growth has been crazy. I would say our email list at this point is over 100 people. If everybody gets into groups, we will probably be playing an average of 60 to 70 people a week, which is absolutely fabulous. It's a good problem for us to have. So, once again, we will try to get everyone into groups as quickly as we can. Please be patient with us. We are going to be juggling people. I'm carrying a water bottle. Our event this spring, we've got the hack and slash-a-thon, which we've been working on. We had some fun with some of the offices on campus that deal with the foundation accounts and our grant accounts. Yeah, fun is really big air quotes. Our foundation account was supposed to be set up in 2 weeks.
Yep.
It was 9?
Yeah, we
7,
started at the beginning
9?
of June. We got it about like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah. So John and I decided to wait to see the turnout for today, to see if we needed to cut back a little bit on what we were planning to do for our big events, and I think we might have to bump it up a little bit, John.
Yeah.
We were planning. We didn't know if we'd be able to plan for 100 to 150. I think we might top that.
Yeah.
So we're going to be scheduling a time not when the football team is playing.
Yeah.
So that parking's a little easier. It's going to be a all-day event. We're going to get custom pencils made. We're gonna figure out some fun things to do with that. It's going to be the hack and slash-a-thon. Bring in that first level character and then level, survive, or die, depending upon how kind your dice are. or your DM, I guess. Other things that we do have planned, like I said, mentioned before, is the painting. We all at Dead Week. We're also children. We did over the summer a trial run of a Hunger Games event. We had, I need to get Kelly his thing. Sorry. We had was it 9 total players, and then we had the 4 officers, or 4 of us officers were.
It was only 3 of us.
Was it only 3 of us?
Me and
Oh no, I'm not paying myself first for.
Alberto was sitting
there.
down in pain because
He was moral
I
support.
was there.
No, everyone was there and helping out. We're going to make some changes to that, but I think we're going to do at least one of those
At least
this
one more.
semester. It was an adventure and we learned a lot. And I think the biggest thing we learned was pack people in closer so you'll fight more. It ended up in an absolute brawl to the death by 4 players because we had already run over by like 2 hours at that point. Sadly, I think the person who, Matt was our congratulations winner, but I still will say that Kelly would have taken.
Kelly won our hearts.
Yeah.
And Kelly, yeah. So Kelly, those of you that don't know him, is a fabulous guy, military, older gentleman, my age, I don't know, still older, I guess. He had a run, but he started out the session as a cleric with the commune spell, which allows you to, once per 2 weeks, I believe, ask your god for something amazing. He first round, he casts it, comes back into a little hidden space that we had where all of the DMs were doing all the behind the scenes stuff, and said, I wish to ask my god to make all the water undrinkable. He sadly failed the roll. We were all pulling for him on that one. So yeah, with that moment, he kind of won all the DM's hearts, and he was kicking butt left and right.
Then he had to leave, which was.
And then he had to leave before it could all be over. So
Stupid family.
it would have been fun to watch you and Kelly go at it. Anyway, but so we're going to do some fun things like that. Some DMs are going to probably put some stuff together. We've talked about doing some small little groups where one group's the good people and the other group's the bad people, and we get to fight and have fun. If that is fun, it's fun for me. What was the other thing we were going to do?
Well, I know for me at least, something spooky might happen around Halloween.
You never know.
Something spoopy.
It's hard for us sometimes to remember how big we've grown because other than these meetings, you're not going to see everyone because you're in groups of 4 to 8. So we like to bring people together because we still feel like we're building community, building friendships. That's what we're here for, having fun. So yeah, so something spooky. We need to talk more about that to be announced.
Jack-o'-lantern Rich.
Yeah, everybody gets to fight the headless horseman. We learned from last semester that during midterms and finals, we will still be doing some games, but they won't be your regularly scheduled games. They're going to be one-offs. So if you have time and you need to kill something to blow off some steam, it's a perfect time to just come and do it.
It's a math test, isn't it?
Yeah, just, geometry. Is that good? Hi, Jim.
The Peter and Kelly is having a lovely conversation.
Yeah, they always do. These are my sins.
Just us.
Yeah, back there.
Yeah.
Two.
Yeah. What are our library actually is probably the biggest thing. The website's huge. It's in process. We're going to be doing more what we have available for checking out and borrowing: books, dice, characters, all sorts of fun stuff. If you're interested, we'll get you an account, because it's account-based. You'll do it online. Because I'm a jerk, and I know that if I don't have this, things will just not go. We have a little use of library contract that says you'll return stuff and bring it back and take care of it.
With all
for a
its
year,
changes.
you're able to, DMs are able to check out more stuff because they need more stuff to run. The players, you've got access to a book, miniatures, and dice. So if you're interested in these, I'll have these out for people to sign after the meeting. We just want to be taking care of our stuff so it lasts as long as possible. Books are expensive. The minis not so much. What else do we have going on this semester? Or that we did over the summer? Just a lot of background planning. We knew that we were going to get bigger. We decided we actually were going to focus on reaching out and building a club. Because we knew there were people that were wanting to play. That was obvious to us from the moment I put my first flyer out. Actually, I posted first in the GIM group, our Facebook page, and said, hey, anybody interested? I heard from John and one other guy, and that other guy, I've never seen. Life got in the way for him, which is fine. Life gets in the way. We put up flyers, and we got 8 players, and we knew all of a sudden that more was going to be coming out of this. So then we put up our 10 flyers, of which 8 were taken down. We got 12 that one day, and it's been nothing but growth since. Every time a lot of other club members or the Get Involved office is like, hey, where are you guys at? And you're like, oh, we're at the end of the semester, oh, we're about 40, 50 people. What? Okay. Obviously, this is something that needed to happen. So we're going to be focusing on growth this semester. We're going to be taking advantage of the poster routes, which we have all but 2 booked for this entire year, I think, because there wasn't a limit. So I took advantage of it. We're also reaching out to the greater community. We're reaching out to game stores because, hey, if people want to play, we play. So that's growing. We have dreams and desires to hold some very fun special events, and we're starting the process on that. Our biggest dream is that we can hold an event and have Matt Mercer come. For those of you that don't know, he's the DM of Critical Role.
And you can always call you when it's high noon.
If anyone happens to know his email address, let me know.
I love you.
I would just keep, keep in sundry.
I've done that. I haven't heard anything yet, but I also know he's insane busy with all the stuff he's been doing with D&D, and obviously Critical Role, and he's like part of another couple shows, and voice acting, and. So actually what I'm going to do is, at this point, unless I can figure it, also his website was supposed, Matt Mercer Online or something like that, was supposed to go live at the end of spring. Then it was supposed to go live in the middle of summer, and then the end of summer, and it's still not up. So I'm going to actually probably do a handwritten letter, send it to the Critical Role, whatever address for
You can send
type thing, and then do it that way.
If I can make a suggestion, petition perhaps to get just a whole bunch of signatures of
From the D&D club?
critters.
We can do that, yeah, for sure. Anything we can do to get him here, I'm going to be like, yeah! And if all goes as planned, we're going to, so you can't hold raffles as a club unless you get the okay from the actual Idaho State Lottery. So those clubs don't do it because it's absolutely pain in the butt. We're thinking if we can get him here, and we want him to come, put on a talk for our DMs, also, some voice acting talks, things like that. And then we want him to do a 4-hour session, and we're gonna, our plan is to raffle off the spots to play in his game. Because I figured everybody's gonna want a chance at that. And I'm gonna have a hard time not cheating. Anyway, I'll probably sit at the table even if I'm not playing a character, I'll just pretend. The other person that we're, if we're having issues getting hold of him, we've also talked about trying to reach out to Chris Perkins, who is at Wizards of the Coast. His name is, I believe, on every 5th edition book somewhere. And he is the DM for Acquisitions Incorporated, which play the PAX games. If you like Critical Role and you haven't watched Acquisitions Incorporated, it's fun to watch Will Wheaton have to deal with acid pits. I was just watching that episode. Also, Chris Perkins brings, because he has the D&D or the Wizards budget behind him, he makes the most crazy elaborate model set scenes I've ever seen, including airships. So that would be fun to come. If you have other suggestions for people who would love to come and give talks and things like that, please let me know. Because I know stuff like that's not just going to be for us, it's going to bring in the whole entire community. I imagine filling big spots with those people. Not just for us to raise money, but to enjoy it. I mean, it's awesome. We actually did look into going to, I Call Up Wizards this summer about some other things, which I embarrassingly asked them for the rights to the logo for Pathfinder, because I didn't know that belongs to Paizo, because I always thought Pathfinder was D&D 4th edition. And I'm a bad person for that. And so I was informed by, part of the phone call with them was asking if we could go and have a tour, like as the club, like just mob their place. Sadly, they are not open to the public. Well, let me change that. They have a little tiny foyer about this size that we could go in and see, but we can't see anything else, and so it's just not worth the drive. We can look at it in the pictures. I know members are going to this Utah Comic Con, right?
Yeah.
When is that again?
September 20th through something or other. Patrick Rothfuss just said he was going to be there.
Okay. Sorry. My pee just yeah, there are a bunch of people that would be fabulous to come and have talks with us. Yeah. Yeah, sure. I don't know. We'll get him to roll dice. I'm not sure.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just throwing out names like that.
Other. Can we get the guy that played the troll in the movie? No. No, that was Golem. Other things that we are thinking about doing, we are thinking about creating a Twitch streaming channel, streaming some play. We're not sure how it's going to work because it's a really huge gray area. We have a lot of hurdles to jump through, but I think it would be fabulous to get the word out. We're also talking about connecting with other colleges that are doing it. We're also talking about trying to work with Wizards of the Coast because they've got their Adventure League, which we looked into Adventure League for here, but Adventure League has some really huge requirements that didn't really fit the college lifestyle. Limited party sizes, you have to stick with their equipment, their world, which is not a bad thing, it just didn't fit for us. So we've talked about trying to work with them about creating a college grouping for that. What else have we talked about? I mean, we've got so much that we really want to do for everybody that we think is going to be fabulous. But suggestions, send them our way. Yes?
Right now?
No, emails, fabulous. Other things, we have shirts all of a sudden. Well, sort of. We have two shirts. But they print them here on campus and we're going to make them available. That being said, as you can see, nothing on the back. So So we're going to open it up. We don't want an image on the back. We want some cool slogan saying, probably would get into trouble if we used, how do you want to do this?
Oh, yes.
I think that might be problematic. Yeah, exactly.
I think that's.
Hey, if we get it here, we get it. I don't really care.
That should be solid.
But if you have something that you think would be awesome for the club to put in the back, please send me emails. I will be sending out an email about it. My hope is that at our next meeting, I can present, the officers are gonna go through them first, because we don't want stuff like, haha, my beholder crapped on your beholder, or my beholder can beat up, well, that actually would be kinda cool. My beholder can beat up your beholder. Anyway, you can steal it, but I get credit.
Registered trademark.
Yeah, exactly, TMD. Then we're gonna weed out the ones that are kind of like, oh man, not gonna work. And then we're gonna present all of them to the club, anonymously, of who did what. And then we're gonna vote to see which one goes on the back of the shirt.
These meetings are once a month?
Yes, first Saturday of the
Month.
Good Lord, excuse me. First Saturday of the month is our official club meetings. If we get big enough and we need to do 2 a month, I really need to sleep, but we might do that and split it up a little bit more. We're also doing the video recording. We're trying that out to try and get that sent. Wait for the camera. What other fun things? Any questions about all this? I know I just thrown a whole bunch at you, and I know there are probably other questions from people that just came today because you're like, hey, D&D's kind of cool. What's all this about? Any questions? Anything from my officers on stuff that I'm forgetting, which is fun? Yes.
In the slogan, we snitches get 1d4 stitches.
So that's an example of ones that aren't going to be making it to the voting on session.
Great.
Definitely realize that, or it would be great if it could be something a little generic-ish, because, well, yes, we play a lot of D&D and fantasy type ones. We do also play D20 Modern and Shadowrun, which is Shadowrun is futuristic
Modern.
advanced technology meets magic. It's very different, but I got to play it after 20 years. I'm so excited. It was a blast. I had absolute. We killed people. I mean, how can you not have fun with that? Close range, or with flechettes, or with a sword.
I have the warpath sword.
Ooh, God. You're the robot. Fabulous. What other fun things? I think that's probably about it. Yes.
Oh, I was just gonna throw out just a general thing. Please do not be afraid if you see us just hanging out, just stopping by, saying hi, hang out with us. I personally basically live up here on the 2nd floor now. I am either here or I'm down at the Gym Lab, which is downstairs in the corner they shoved us in. Come say hi. I eat my lunch here. Come have lunch with us. And I also am an incredibly huge nerd who also plays Magic the Gathering. And I love just getting new people to play games with. I also love playing board games. So I'm trying to get together people who just want to nerd out on a regular basis and play more games.
Video games.
And even video games.
Yeah, I think some people
I
play
play
video
video.
games. I don't have time for that, even though that's my major.
Yeah.
We also have been down to watch Rick and Morty and 201E on the stream in the
Yay.
evenings.
Yeah, it's great.
How about we just do like a general movie night?
Well, and I think,
Yeah.
well, I'll be honest.
Those terrible.
This is actually something I was going to bring up. So,
Yeah, it's
Stranger Things Season 2 is
Yes.
coming out on
Yeah.
Halloween. I think that's gonna turn into a come in and watch night because, oh my God, I'm so excited. I cannot wait to see what that is, and it's, especially having such a basis in TNT for that show, it just makes 100% sense.
Same time.
We might even have popcorn. You never know.
Darkness Rising would be a good show.
Oh, that was the movie, right?
Yes.
If you haven't watched that one, it's a bit, Darkness Rising. If you haven't watched it, we do need to show it because it's well worth it. We do need to verify how that's gonna work with America. Can you?
Oh, doing movie nights and stuff?
Yes,
Yeah, I mean, it's just some paperwork.
I know.
More.
But I think
More paperwork
Yeah.
For you.
for me.
Also depends on how big the
Thank you
turnout
for your hard
by the
work,
license
John.
agreement.
Yeah.
a lot of it's just going through the bureaucratic red tape. I mean, we're willing to try and make anything happen for everybody. Just like I said, we like building the community, and we've noticed that friendships have really come out of this.
Friends are fun.
Friends are fun. Take it from John.
Friends are fun,
I'm
not-
gonna throw you under a bus.
Why?
No,
I mean,
John,
only going over 30.
your first semester here, did you have any friends?
No, my very first, so I'm a non-traditional student, I'm 26, and so when I came back, I was going to school at U of I, and I came here after a 5-year break and knew literally no one. So my first semester, I was by myself in the individual study rooms on the 3rd floor, eating by myself and doing homework by myself. And then because of this club, I feel like the most popular person on campus. So,
We love you.
John and I tend to try and walk to our car at the end of the night. And,
it takes a solid hour.
Yeah.
but we love it. You know, if you see us,
Yeah, I'm a chatterbox.
we both love to talk. I have a 14-year-old and a 3-year-old. It's 11 years of baking is my breaking point. So and a wife, sorry.
She's kind of important.
I'm gonna get killed when I get home.
Yeah, because I'm
So
very
there are
much older.
times where I have to go, but I will try and give you as much time as I possibly can. That's what I'm here for. We realize that we're also park counselors. If stuff's going on, we are here. We care. We are here to help. We might not have all the answers, and we might say like, "Hey, you might really want to talk to somebody who knows what they're doing." But if you need some help, or you're having issues with a math class, I mean, we're here for that. If you need to find out what would happen if a bowling ball was dropped from orbit to a player,
He can
without
help
your
you for you.
Alistair will sit down and do the math with you and tell you how many kilojoules hit you in the forehead. Nerd. I don't. Yeah, exactly. And he will. I walked into 201E one day, and there were equations everywhere. And I came to, what were you equating? It was something.
Was it driving force on an elf or falling elf?
Yeah, it was something. It was just like, it was important. So we try to have fun. Real briefly, so the Fantasy Age game currently did not happen. I switched it to a 5th edition, which I think all these y'all missing out. No.
Edition's best edition.
You haven't tried it yet.
Yeah.
There's going to be a brawl in a moment. We are interested in bringing in new editions. We actually had talked about playing, Matt's talked about doing
The original
AD&D. We've talked about playing original Redbox, original D&D, which is an exercise in psychoticness from what I hear. It's a bit crazy. Barbarians and wizards cannot be in the same party. Yeah, because they will kill each other. That's actually the way it was originally written. It's changed very nice for 5th edition. The main reason we played 5th edition is because we realized Fifth has been created to make it easy to bring people in and get them going and learn the game. So that's why we play Fifth. We've introduced 3.5 because 3.5 allows for a lot deeper character customization and rules breaking.
Yeah.
Break the game as quick as possible. That's the-
Infinite stats.
Can I put you on the spot? Can you? Sure. I've never played Pathfinder.
Okay.
So that's my sin. No. How would you describe Pathfinder as a system comparatively?
I would say that it was a first attempt at 5th edition, so when 3.5 was out and everyone was like all about it, and then that godforsaken 4th edition came out. So then they're like, hey, we don't like it.
Some people actually kind of.
Pathfinder came as a result of that. So
Yeah, you know.
Fourth edition does not exist.
Yeah.
What's fourth edition?
So yeah, I would say Pathfinder was like the precursor to the new like 5th edition. They tried to make it more player friendly. It was a different system to kind of introduce.
But similar for the, how easy is it for someone who's played either 3.5 or 5th to play Pathfinder?
It's pretty easy.
Yeah, if you play 3.5, Pathfinder will be like a breeze for you.
Okay.
5th edition, I mean, there's the complexity with the skill rank system, but other than that, it's very similar.
Cool. So those are those.
I might eventually also bring in Starfinder, because that just came out, and it looks really cool.
I know, I saw that one. Yeah, oh, did you?
Dan did.
Oh, Dan did?
So
Fabulous.
I want to steal it.
Fantasy Age is put out by Green Ronin Publishing. If you watched Titan's Grave on YouTube, which is the Will Wheaton one, some people like it, some people don't. What I really love about the system, it's really similar to 5th. It's in the ease of it, except that the skills stay a little bit more in control. Then you can still like, oh yeah, my passive perception is 507, so I see dead people.
30. 30 is more realistic.
But what I really love about the system, instead of rolling d20, you're rolling 3d6, 2 dice of one color, 1 die another. If you roll doubles on any of the 3 dice, that other colored dice becomes what's called a stunt die. And then you have a list of cool things that you can do with those points. From piercing straight through armor, to switching your initiative to where you currently are to the top of the list. So if you were last, roll a high enough stunt die, you can bump yourself up to first and go 2 times in a row. It's got some fun things like that. I'm sure at some point we'll get a game of it fully going. D20 Modern is 3.5 set in current day, so everybody's human.
To varying degrees.
Yeah, and then to varying degrees, that's true. And it's modern weaponry. The killing someone's a little easier because massive damage takes place really easy. So even if you have a lot of health, if you get hit for enough damage, like a gunshot would do, you can still go unconscious from that. We've been having fun with that one so far. And then Shadowrun is D20 Modern, so, well, futuristic D20 Modern, I guess is the best way of describing it. It's super high technology meets magic in 2072?
It's 60 years ahead of wherever you're playing.
Okay, so yeah, it's about, yeah,
2077.
2077.
Roughly.
2070,
2070X.
and so it's a whole different system. You roll a pool of d6s equal to whatever your stat is, and then if you roll a 5 or a 6, it's considered a success. You compare successes, roll damage, get damage, and things like that. I love it. I'm addicted.
You want to roll a bunch of dice, play Shadowrun.
Yes.
You can roll like 30 d6s. It's seriously.
It actually, you're just like, yeah! And then you re-roll 6s, which just becomes really fun and annoying to you, the DM. So I just wanted to give a quick background on those, just because I know not everyone's used to them. We'll try and get some more information up on the website. I'm going to put it in the, well, and this is gallery video, but it's not something else in the other one. I'm going to start having videos and things to outside sources. You know, I put a link to Critical Role, some of the other things. So if you wanted to check out, hey, what's the Shadowrun game really look like? We got a video for that. What else? Any other questions? Exciting things that are going on. If you're interested in 3D printing, we do have people that would be willing to help with that. Or if you're interested in getting a 3D character printed. Everything grows. Like I said, I've got a superheroes version of D20 that I'm reading when I need to fall asleep. No, it's exciting, but I don't have much time beyond that.
I just wanted to throw out there, if you have not, there is a roll that is in a spiral binder that's floating around. Please write your name in it so we can just keep track.
Yep.
So if you have not signed that by the end of the meeting, just swing by, sign it.
Yep. My school email is on my phone, so if you need anything, I usually try and my goal is to get back to you within 24 hours. I 9 times out of 10 get back to you within about 20 minutes. But sometimes I'm away from my computer if I need something on there, or in the middle of putting the baby to bed, fill in blank. So I try and get back within 24 hours. We're going to start, that's my personal one. We have a contact form here if you're like, I can't remember who to email, but I remember where the website is. You can go use the contact form in here, and it goes to our Dungeons Broncos @gmail.com address, which I also check all the time, which the other officers will start checking all the time because I'm a mean person. What else? There's definitely going to be opportunities for, if you're interested in becoming an officer, there are definitely going to be some opportunities coming up soon, including being in charge of the library. What else? I think that's about it. If there aren't any questions that are for the group, but you want to talk to me, I'll be around for a little bit longer. John and Tyler's supposed to be coming to run his group. I hope
As far as I know.
As far as we know, that's going on. I haven't seen it. I know.
That's fine.
Give him a little bit. We'll reach out to him.
Yeah, and
then John and Alistair are gonna. No wait, don't you already have a group?
Yeah.
That's supposed to be running. Are you canceling your Saturday?
Well, I'm trying to get you interested.
Okay.
They don't want
So if you're interested in playing a little one-off today and just getting your feet wet, we've got some pre-made characters that we can throw at you. I apologize for paper cuts, but we have lemon juice.
And then also, if you're interested, if you're a new player, right there at the front table, I have printed out some new player tips and tricks to help you out. There's some information on
Vanna White.
Yeah, Vanna White it. So there's some information on the front. On the back, there's a lovely chart with all sorts of information. So feel free to grab one when
If you fold it right, you can make a car.
I mean, technically.
Robbie,
Did you want to do one more plug for social media and other?
yes, so on the bottom of the email that I'm going to send, if you're not currently on our email list and you didn't get my last, which means you didn't get last Sunday's email, you'll be getting one tomorrow. If you don't get one tomorrow, well, let me change that. If you don't wake up Monday morning and have one, because I've been known to write it at like 12 o'clock at night, please send me an email and say, hey, I didn't get it, because sometimes I mistype an email address or I can't read an email address. That happened a few times. So please let me know. I don't mean to leave anyone off, but I'm human. I think. At least Mom said I am. And then, on the bottom of the emails, that's where I was going with this, good lord. The bottom of the emails, it's got a link to our Facebook page, so feel free to join our Facebook group. It's filled with fabulous D&D memes, all thanks to John and Matt for the most part. Every once in a while, I'll post something important, like Matt did this morning, which was, hey, we're having a meeting.
And I posted.
It's also got a link to our org sync, so you can, at this point, feel free if you want to become a member, sign up through the org sync, you be like, hey, it was me, I was at the meeting, want to join. It's not going to be accepted until you do the one meeting and the two sessions. But it'll be there, ready to go, and I'll just click, there we go. Yay, there's our other group.
Yay.
We do have a Twitter account. Yeah, we do. I haven't done anything with it, but I have it.
It exists.
So, it exists. Did I create something else? What did I create?
A Reddit, maybe?
No.
We usually just hang out with the D&D subreddit.
Yeah, we have a Discord.
I probably did something, but I don't remember what it was.
Really quick, it's super inconvenient because I apparently suck at using Facebook. I don't know. On our D&D Facebook page, to get the link for the Discord, you have to go under the events tab, and it's just a permanent event I had made that has the link in it. Because there's nowhere to put like about or like, I don't know. I don't know, maybe I'm too old.
John, if you can remind me, I'll put the Discord at the bottom of the email. Link to it. Just remember, Discord's not an official communication source.
No, it's not tied to the club.
It's not technically tied to the club, so that way when someone does something stupid and opens mouth, inserts foot, leg, hip, and stomach, I can say I didn't do it.
Is that Discord? Is that your DM World one? Never mind.
I can just say from all the officers and myself, thank you all for coming. We are so excited to see all the new faces, especially those who haven't played before. Don't hesitate to ask questions. There is no dumb question. If you
Can I tame the Hydra?
It's still not a dumb question. You can, yes, you can try.
No, he asked, he said no, and did it anyways.
Real quick, you do have to embarrass Tyler though by giving him.
Oh, Tyler, come here.
I know, I love making him awkward. His shoulders, like, he's becoming attached to his ears.
So this is Tyler. Tyler is DMing our Pathfinder group on Saturdays, and he was the last person
To show up.
to show up.
meeting.
But we got you a DM pin, and that's
Oh my
gosh. But yeah, once again, if you're interested in playing a little one-off, talk to Sean. I don't know what other officers are available. I'm not, but I am available for a while for questions. Thank you all once again for coming. I hope to see you all in groups as quickly as possible and eventually if you want. I also have business cards if anybody needs one.
Yeah.